Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to do our first ever Highland greenhouse tour. Hooray! It's only taken me a few months to get to this point, but I haven't exactly turned off all the equipment for us. So it's going to be a little bit loud in here, so I'm just going to talk a little bit loud. Things are not really organized, but yeah, we're going to give a tour. So when you walk in the door, things kind of look similar to the old greenhouse, the way it was. And then, boom, there's a huge expansion. And then the rest of the old greenhouse is over on the far end there. So we have a big expansion on it. And we're up to 32 feet long now. But anyways, let's get started. It looks really bare right now because things aren't in it. And I'm going to turn off this hydrofogger first. Let's see how I can do this with one hand. There we go. Okay, other things are still on, but I'll slowly turn them off too, I guess. There goes a fan off as well. So this time around, I decided to hang nothing on the roof. It's nice and clear, so I can work up there easy. I put shade cloth up there. It's on the inside this time instead of the outside. That way I can still get the extra heat that I need for most of the year, without sacrificing the shade cloth itself. For the first few weeks, I didn't have shade cloth up, and this property is so bright. I really made some of my leaves on my Nepenthes go kind of blotchy. So you can see lots of little blotchy leaves and a bit of sunburns and stuff like that. All my Highland Nepenthes are down now. The pitchers took a real hit when we moved. Some of them were just forming in just kind of open, like that's a truncata. This guy here looks like a hamada cross, maybe a Cephalotus hamada, spatulata hamada. What was I thinking? Cephalotus. There's my little Trusmoniensis, which the plant is getting to be a good size. Everything's not in the same spot, of course, where it was before, but I'm finding everything slowly. There's a Colossus, and little basil shoot here on Vogelii. Vogelii did really well. Oh, here's a nice new picture on my truncata on the other side coming out. So look at how perfect that is. That's going to be a nice one. Another Vogelii here. So all these plants that were up before, we got spider webs on them. There's lots of insects in them and around here. Lots of spiders and stuff. An old Maxima. Little Flava. Some things are still not completely organized. Azume? No. What is that? Bongso. What else? The Macrophylla is doing really good in here. Caught quite a few pictures right now. So yeah, lots of light burns on some sensitive stuff before I got things all in order. Asperliana, I think it's called. That's a Burbage Raja cross, looking really good. Some little ants crawling around on it right now. Of course, I went to the back side of the picture. Spectabilis got a huge haircut and is really quite dry, but looking good. None of my automatic watering is going right now. Tentaculata took a bit of a hit. It's doing okay. We had to cut, and we lost some leaves, but I see some new shoots starting on here. This was all supported by other plants, and it's no longer supported, so it's like upside down, that sort of thing. Some nice empty trays. Rigidifolia is looking nice. It's going to feel like there's a lot less plants in here, but there's really the same amount. Burbagei. There's definitely a hamada spatulata or something like that cross. Got the utriculari down below. New type of flooring. I'm just for now just using the weed cloth, we call it. I don't know what it's really called. Weed barrier. It's doing good. Up until a few weeks ago, I had nothing in here, and it was starting to get crazy high grasses and stuff. Cut back my Miranda, made some cuttings of that. Cut back my huge Cebuensis and other stuff. Everything's been sort of cut back. Ooh, there's a nice newest spatulata. This is the next patchlotta. Like I say, we're hurting for pictures right now. Hurliana. Eddie did well during the move. Lots of Hoyas in here. So this is strictly Highland plants now. There's no lowland in here. There's no Velosa chamber in here. I freed up a lot of space that way by separating it all out, so it's more than twice the greenhouse space, but it's only Highland instead. This cluster, I'm going to call it a clusterfuck, basically, is still in its tray from when it moved. These are my hamadas I haven't had a chance to get to. I make sure they're watered. That's about it. I can see a jamban picture that is formed right here. So we got a jamban in here as well, and a hamada. And yeah, it's just sort of that's where it laid. Some sunburns, some bad sunburns from when I first got here. And yeah, it's a tangled mess of vines that goes up. I'll have to deal with that. That was some of my bigger plants. Another tangled mess of vines is down there. Still in its original tray. I'm not quite sure what to do with it yet. So there's where it stayed. A few orchids down below here. I have the trays in the middle this time. I'm going for not so much the wide open look as just the practical look. I don't need this wide open, so I'm keeping it sort of tight aisles. Some other Nepenthes here. Some less common things. Berkei is there. My wavy maxima I can see here. I'm sort of still finding things myself. But see my single Anna got tucked in here. So yeah. I'm always poking at the pots now, you'll see. Like I say, I don't have my watering system in here, so everything's back to manual. I got some kick-ass heaters going in here with still a little backup. That was my old fireplace heater from the other one. I found that it doesn't keep up in here at all. It's just not big enough, but it's good for a backup. So I recently had some electrical work done just on the building outside there. You can see it through. You can see a window and stuff. Anyways, on the back side of that building, I now have 2 5,000 watt plugins, the 240 volt, and then 3 different circuits of just the regular circuits for fans and lights and anything I need. So I basically put in close to 15,000 watts of power on the outside of that wall for whatever I need. This heater is awesome. It does really good. I expect it to do the whole greenhouse, but I do have another circuit for a backup one in case something happens to that one. I will have 2 in here. Then we sort of get more into like the open space that I haven't quite filled. So I got some shelving here. A lot of this stuff, again, with the situation in the world right now with COVID and everything like that, I haven't gone out much. Where I live is just starting to reopen like in the last week or so, last couple weeks. And things were tough at first when I moved because I wasn't even sure if the movers were going to show up or anything like that. I'm at a Rob Kentley. So yeah, it was a little tough. So I've been doing everything myself. I made pallet tables here. These are awesome, really. Highly recommend this sort of thing. Took the pallets that I got deliveries on and then turned them into part of the greenhouse. They're anchored to the walls and they make awesome, sturdy tables. Again, this time around I have more space, so I'm not going for stacks of shelves. I'm going for flat surfaces, so that nothing is as much shaded as like it is there. That was sort of the old style, right? And so for the new style, lots of wide open shelves. There's some pinguiculas cultivating out, and some Cephalotus that I just recently did some separations of and repotting. Whenever you repot a Cephalotus, it kind of looks like crap for a while, but they're coming up. My King Sundews are looking amazing. Probably the best it's ever looked since it's been in here. Gonna bloom. I got some under the bench tables and that, but I'm not actually using them right now. Nothing's under these benches. It's gonna be loud with the hydrofogger going. This stuff is just in here temporarily. I just took out all my palm trees that were in here. I had like, I don't know, 10 palm trees in here as well because I had the space. So we got some little tropicals in here that I'll be leaving soon. A couple Sarracenias in here. This end here doesn't have shade cloth on, so it's bright and sunny. The shade cloth ends after the Cephalotus. So we have a very a more shaded side and then a bright sunny side. So all the sundews out here, some Nepenthes, some more Nepenthes, a few Alice sundews, nice wide leaves, stuff like that. A few Philiformis coming around, seedlings coming up, stuff like that. Utricularias. My Helium 4s took a big hit. It was bright and hot and sunny, and a lot of them cooked, so they're kind of recovering. I've done some repotting. I did lose a few, which kind of sucks. But I do see new growth coming on a lot of these guys now, so I'm happy about that. Decent orchids, some bromeliads, and yeah, that is kind of where I'm at. Quite a bit of open space still. It is filling up rather fast though. Until this morning, I had trays of vegetables here for our garden out there. They grew awesome in here. Planted vegetable seeds a few weeks ago, and some of them were already like a foot tall, like tomatoes and stuff. So it was really good. But anyways, that is a really quick Highland greenhouse tour. I hope you like the new space as much as I do. Still tons of work to do. But the future work is going to be actually this summer. I have to start preparing for this winter, so I got to start sealing everything up. I'm going to be adding a few more supports along the roof, preparation for some snow poles that will come down when needed. The original greenhouse like this had snow poles as well for the winter. Some of you will remember those. And yeah, we're just going to have to start prepping for winter pretty soon. It's crazy because it's just June, but you're always preparing for one season ahead. So right now, when I first got here, I was preparing for summer. And now that it's almost summer, I'm going to have to start preparing for fall. I'm going to have to start ordering bubble wrap for the back wall, stuff like that for the outside. This wall, which used to be my north wall, is now a bright sunny wall. That wall down there, which used to be my south wall, is now the east wall, and this whole thing is south, and it's just crazy bright. I'm really thankful that out here I have a giant apple tree that runs the length of the greenhouse, and it gives me some shade on the front of it for a while in the summertime, because I don't have to worry about shade cloth for here. So nice and shaded, but it's deciduous, so in the colder months it drops its leaves. And when we first got here, it had no leaves, and it was quite bright coming in here. But I'm very glad that it's here now. And yeah, it's not a super sunny day today, but it is quite bright. The greenhouse is still 30 degrees, and I should go in there and turn on the fans and foggers and stuff like that again. So I hope you enjoyed this greenhouse tour, and yeah, I'm sure there'll be many more tours where this came from. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.